And we're live! Hello all and welcome back to the Invictus stream. My name as always is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here once again with my lovely, attractive, gorgeous wife, Mrs. Jo Guthrie.
Hello.
Hello. We are joined once again by the undeniably talented Mr. James Schwartz.
Hello, everybody.
We are here again with one of my favorite people on Earth, Mr. Gary Furlong.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Gary.
Hey there, guys.
And, of course, we wouldn't be here tonight without the fabulous William A. Wellman. And we are back. That's right, back at it. It's been a little bit of a break. We've been very busy and tired. Lots of amazing stuff coming up that we're going to talk to you about tonight. But we are back tonight with a little game called Last Manager Standing. That's right. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Can you hear the sound effects?
It's a little quiet. Yeah.
They're very quiet for me. Can anyone else hear
Usually they're so loud that it blows out an eardrum.
Okay. But your eardrums are still being blown out. That's all I care about.
Great.
Perfect. They're all nodding. What? But yeah, we're back. And it's been a little bit of a respite, a little bit of a reprieve. I'm sad. I missed it. I've missed all of your gorgeous little faces. How's everyone been doing?
Doing
Good.
okay, yes.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
We are here today, which is what matters.
That's true. We're going to cheer Gary up. Gary had some camera problems.
So I don't know if any people know this about me, right? Like, so I had a moment before this thing where I was like, I'm gonna get my nice camera set up. Just got a new microphone with like a dual USB XLR output. My goodness, fantastic. Neither my camera or the USB port for the mic worked. And one of my biggest pet peeves, probably my biggest failing, is when technology does not do what it's supposed to fucking do.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I am so
That's my.
with you.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I also get really
Tell me
frustrated.
twice.
Yeah, I get really frustrated by technology.
Frustration squared.
I think the worst times I've ever been as a person are like when I was building my computer and people were asking me questions, or like anytime, like nothing is worse. You sit on your computer and like something's not working, and then like someone else is talking to you and they're like, "So what do you think?" Not now. Like I need to figure this shit out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, have you
No,
tried
not
this
you.
basic thing that you've definitely tried?
That's always the worst. The worst part too is like if you have a complicated problem and you rope someone in, and they like they're at 1 and you're at like 17, and they're like, okay, well, so their audio driver, and you're like, no, don't even. I've already reinstalled. Don't fucking start with the audio driver. It's just it's funny. Everyone's disconnected that way. But I feel you. Gary. But guess what?
pain.
You look great.
You made
on your
it.
camera. You're there.
I feel very blue today. The blue screen,
Yeah, but like-
blue body.
Like Eiffel 65, you know? It's
Yeah.
a good,
Love that song.
You're blue, Abu Di,
So
Abu Da.
topical.
so topical.
So current.
But yeah, this is it. We're back. What about you, William? How have you been?
Oh, pretty good over here. Tracking along with Halloween Season 3.
Hells
the
yeah.
Novel is finally done, so I can relax on that a little bit. And although it hasn't officially been announced yet, consider it just a heads up for anyone in the audience. We have a live show coming up at the end of this month as part of
Whoa!
Yeah, it's part of the Streaming for Survivors fundraiser. It happens every year. So hoping the official announcements about that could go up today or tomorrow, hopefully.
That's awesome. Otherwise, you're breaking
exciting.
contract and you get kicked in the head. That's fantastic.
Taken up with my boss.
What day? When does it go live? Do you know what day people can start?
Yeah.
planning for?
Clear your evening either the 26th or the 27th. I'm just wrapping it up with some of our guest stars for that.
Amazing.
Awesome.
What about you, James? How you doing, bud?
I'm good. We are officially on hiatus for Dimension Door for the next 3 months. Working on a bunch of stuff behind the scenes, sorting some things out. But I get a break. I get a break for 3 months, and I plan on being here a lot more, hopefully. And
Jealous.
sleeping and
Glorious
catching up on
sleep.
other life stuff. So I'm
Hells
good.
yeah. I think
good.
we're finally going to get the elusive James run Invictus game, which I am
Yes, we are.
begging for. I'm excited. TPKs at the wazoo.
Bring it.
And, and Gary, we checked in with you, but we didn't check in with you? What are you working on? Where can people check you out?
Well, my website, GarrettConPostOvers.com, and I've just done some audiobooks, all day, all night, all day long. It's great fun. I enjoy it. Yeah, that's it. Audiobooks, and I am getting my website.
So I can't wait to see what that looks like, because it's like a friend. Sorry, again, it's gonna be cool. I'm happy about it and excited.
Oh, we don't like to talk about things that make you happy and excited, Gary. No, that's awesome. Be
We talk
excited.
about stuff that bums me out.
Well, for us, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Basically, we got InvictusCon coming up next weekend. I am excited to announce or mention that we got 3 panels coming up. We got at 11 a.m. on March 25th. All of these are on Saturday, March 25th. 11 a.m. we got the TTRPG Game Designer panel. On that panel, we have Sam Lee, who's been on this show, a wonderful person, who's created Anamnesis, an awesome role-playing game. We also have our friend, who's also been on the show, Tim Woods, an amazing GM. Yeah, that's
Love
right.
Tim.
You played with Tim.
I have his book. I'm gonna get a second one soon.
He's so good, and he wrote the Green Knight RPG as well as a wonderful bunch of companion guides. And then we're also going to have Johnny Sims, who is the writer of the Magnus Archives and a TTRPG designer, along with his wife, Sienna. Oh, what's her? I forget the last name now. I know she changed, has a hyphenated last name. Should have checked that before we started announcing, but they're not watching, so that's fine. But they have an RPG designing company as well, and they're going to be talking about their amazing games, as well as a pit crawler, I think, is theirs, which is really, really cool.
Ooh, nice.
And then we also, at 3 p.m., we are having the sound designer panel, which is really fun. Right now, we're waiting for a few more people to confirm on that panel. But I do know that we have a few friends of ours that have confirmed. I don't want to mention anybody because I think one might be changing just yet. So we're not 100% down on that just yet. Probably should have prepared this before I started talking about them.
No. Just start talking and the words will come.
But I do know confirmed we have Jen Zink from Afflicted, which is part of the Rusty Quill Network, I believe, as well as Esther Ellis, who has done a myriad of things, as well as a show called Whale Song, which is fantastic if you haven't checked it out. And then at 7 p.m. we have our horror writers panel, and currently confirmed we have Benar, as well as Emily Kellogg, who's been on the show, as well as one of our good friends, William A. Wellman, on that panel.
You get to see so much of me.
Yes.
Yay!
But it's never enough. And all of the panels are going to be on Saturday, the 25th. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you check it out. It's the whole weekend is going to be filled with games across the board. Plenty of reasons. Gary's just wandering around.
Everyone's like, wait, we need dice? Hold on.
Yeah.
Gotta get
Hold on,
dice.
shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
you're missing the private chat here.
Oh, I didn't
Dice,
notice
we need
that.
dice,
Everyone's
right?
just remembering that we're going to be
D6s.
playing
D6s.
fucking
So.
RPGs.
We're playing a game?
Yeah,
Hold on.
apparently. But yeah, also other big exciting news that we got. New episode of Dice Shame comes out tomorrow, as usual. If you haven't checked out Dice Shame, check it out. New episode of Malevolent comes out April 1st or 2nd, maybe March 30th or 31st, how many days
Some
in
point.
March, depending on where we got. Also, big announcement that I'm really proud of. I think my old pal Reagan was in chat for a second. I think they might have left, but Reagan and I should say mainly Reagan, has worked tirelessly on something that is very, very, very cool. Some people might have seen it sort of in drips and drabs in the Discord, and I am happy to announce that we officially have our first printed comic book that is taken directly from Malevolent Part 20. And Reagan has drawn this 16-page comic
It's
book.
so sick.
I have 100 copies printed right now, and I am signing them. You can see right there, signed in gold. And
That's so
That's
fucking
real
cool.
gold.
isn't that cool? It's so funny because like I sent this, or when Henry, who's of the age of comic books, came, I showed him. I was like, hey, check it out. You know, Daddy wrote a comic book. And he kind of looks at it, and he's like looking at it, you know, like intently. You can't understand any of it. It's very gory. But I'm like, you know, did you want a copy? He's like, oh, no. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, well, if you want me to. I was like, no, it's cool, man. Like, whatever. Like, I don't care. That's what... Anyway, so this is, and again, written by Harlan. I mean, not really. It's taken from the stuff I wrote from the show. So I didn't pen to paper something new for this. But this is something that Reagan has made that's phenomenal. And we are going to be selling it to some lucky people who are interested in purchasing it. So right now, actually, you can go to malevolent.ca. Along the top banner, there is a thing that says The Lure, which is the name of this comic book, The Lure. Or you could probably go to malevolent.ca/The Lure, and you can check it out right now. And there's a Google form there. And if you're interested in it, fill it out. It just gives you your email, and then we'll contact you and we'll figure out all that kind of stuff. Because who knows? Maybe no one's interested in it. That might be a possibility too, and this might be just something we hand out at conventions in 10 years. But I thought that was so cool, and that all came because Reagan had drawn this on their own accord, and I was like, yo, we got to do something with that. So we're like, we'll print it, I'll like sign it or something, we'll get it to people who might be interested. So lots of exciting stuff coming out for that. Beyond that, someone's car alarm is going off.
Is it a car alarm?
Whose house is that? Is that yours, James?
No, not on my end.
Oh, no?
I was muted.
Oh, it's William. Yes,
William's got the car alarm.
That's okay. It doesn't really matter. We can all live through it.
Like,
I was just curious what it was. Yeah, I was confused for a second. I'm like, oh, I'm having a stroke on camera.
Here we go.
Yeah, beyond that, InvictusCon, Malevolent, Dice Shame, this. Am I missing something important?
Yeah, but we're not talking about that yet.
No, I'm missing something important for the stream. No, I don't think so. I think that's it for now. I think we're almost ready to jump in this game.
Are we ready? I feel like there's something else.
The problem, yeah, I feel like there's something else too, but that's just Divisor. Divisor's coming out. That's right. A bunch of people have solved the cryptic nonsense, which is awesome. And you're such jerks.
By the way, fuck you.
Listen to this for a second. I fucking slaved over this thing, like, you know, and that's the thing with like cryptics. And actually I asked William too. I was kind of like, yo, because I was like stuck at one point. I was like, how do we do this? And you gave me some great suggestions, and ultimately I the thing is with riddles is you spend this much of your time, and yes, it's this much time to solve, but the problem is when you have 15 people doing it, everyone only has to kind of do this much. And this jailbroken version of the Discord just was like, hey, we're gonna power through this thing. And I mean, power to them. I say jerks, and obviously with love. But man, and it's so funny because it was all to lead to the trailer for Divisor, which gives information on it. And I thought, well, you know what? No one's going to get there. So I don't have to make the trailer right away because I'm swamped as hell. So I just wrote something. I was like, if you got this far, congrats, but you're too early. Just wait. And like, not even 48 hours later, literally, people are like screenshotting that and being like, hey, we're here now. I was like,
I saw someone post on the Discord like, oh, we found the Google Drive. Now we just have to request access. And everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm requesting access.
Yeah.
Like, I hope Harlan didn't have it set up so that it gets emailed every time. Meanwhile,
I did.
I'm like linked to the email account too, and I'm seeing all these notifications on my phone. Like,
You have
Jesus
50
Christ.
new request notifications.
well, it actually worked in my benefit because I got to know who was getting to what in what order. You know what I mean? But man, very good, frustrating, but good. But y'all did it too quick.
Do you feel it's at all similar to, as a podcaster, when someone can listen to the entirety of your life's work in about 5 days?
I know, right? It feels
Yeah.
you're right. It's very like this. You get people who are, you know, catching up Malevolent, and they're like, oh, I started yesterday and I've heard all 30 episodes. You know, that took you 100 hours.
Yeah.
It took me.
It's one of those things. So it's like it took you 100 hours over several years, and you just consumed all of it in such a short amount of time that like it's almost guaranteed that they know your show better than you do.
For real.
I listened to it.
Yeah.
I listened to it
it's
on
also
1.5
fresh.
speed just to get through it.
People listen to 1.5 speed. Oh, that's right.
Oh.
I'm not a hater of that though. I don't care about that. If people listen to 1.5 speed, to me it's very at least my show.
Gary's a purist.
Yeah, are you a purist?
No, not necessarily. I just like in terms of audiobooks, I like long audiobooks. I want it to last much longer.
You're in for the ride. You're one of those penny
Yeah.
pound people. Yeah, that's fair.
And plus, I often have to go back because I lose my. I was like, what happened? And then just like,
Who died?
wait, what? He's alive? Yeah.
I take it a step further. I'm a 2 times person.
Whoa!
If I am trying to like blow through a backlog of somebody's show, like I'll listen to like the first couple episodes on regular speed, and if I really like it and like I just want to consume, 2 times speed, and then after I get caught up, I'm back to normal.
That's fair. Okay. I mean,
you
it
ever
depends on
watch-
the show.
Yeah.
It depends on the show.
Oh, 100%.
Have you watched the show at 0.75 speed?
It's wild.
So funny. It's so funny because they look instantly drunk. What are you doing? That's fucking great.
And like comedy's all about timing, right?
Yeah.
So it all gets like dilated.
So it's even funnier at 0.75 speed.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, again, to each their own. Like, I kind of get audiobooks going faster because, like, it's just information getting to you. If someone were to 2 times or 3 times or whatever times Malevolent, to power to them, but I feel like a lot would be lost, like, in terms of
Sound design and all in there.
Well, not only that, yeah, but like pacing is kind of important too because it's like watching a movie fast forwarded. You know what I mean? Like you could do it, but I would kind of be like, whoa, did that scare you? Probably not. You know, you're just at that point it's like diminishing returns for yourself. You're just like, are you listening to it because you want the information, or are you listening to it because you want to watch a movie? You know what I mean? It's just weird. Anyway, but like I said, to each their own. Oh look, Sylvia's right there with you. Binged it. But did you
Hi,
listen
Sylvia.
on 0.125 speed or whatever? Or 0.15?
And these episodes are 30 to 40 minutes long. My goodness.
I mean,
Some people have jobs where they do a lot of driving. I know I saw someone on the Discord who said that they had binged through the entire Dice Shame catalog in like 2 weeks or something, which that's substantial. We've been going weekly for 3.5 years, but I'm really glad that you like the show that much.
but what's cool about our content is that people can be like, ha, I binged Malevolent in a week. And we're like, cool, we'll binge Dice Shame. And they're like, ha, I've been Dice Shame in 2 weeks. You're like, oh, cool. Binge Invictus.
Yeah,
Binge
fuck
Invictus,
you.
coward.
Try that.
Because that's fucking
8
7
years.
years.
8
or
years.
8 years
8
of like,
years, 2 hours a week.
well, mostly 3 hours because we didn't really start 2 hours until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We always used to go 8 till 11, which as you get older, you're like, why?
Do that anymore.
But we used to do 3-hour games, not to mention streams and
Yeah,
shit.
the 24-hour streams.
Although, I was on Tumblr the other day, and someone was, because I was talking about greatest fear or something about that, or maybe it's an episode of Malevolent where some fear comes up where he's deep in water. Oh, I answered a Tumblr ask. So why is Arthur afraid of deep water? And I said, who isn't? And then someone posted a link to a spooky stream I did in 2016 where I'm like, yeah, I mean, my deepest fear is like, you know, depth, water beneath me, untold ocean. And like, they brought that up within like 2 hours. And I was like, man,
wild.
there's a lot of shit out there.
Dedication. That's
Yeah.
It
great.
is. That
Dedication,
is someone
I
with a
guess.
breadth of knowledge of your
What a
work
compliment.
that- yeah, it's
guess.
a
I
compliment
don't-
and also kind of scary.
I was going to
There's-
say, I'm more on that.
There's a lot of internal monologue, especially during the dark, the wee hours of the spooky streams where sometimes
yeah.
you stop playing video games and just start playing guitar and talking
Yeah,
to
which
the
I'm always
audience.
fine with. But it's funny to hear it turned around back on me. And that's kind of why 90% of my Tumblr asks, I just kind of bullshit. Because I'm like, listen, you care? It's out there. I've already answered it.
You'll
Trust
find
me. You'll find it somewhere. Case in point. Anyway, shall we play some role-playing games?
Yeah,
let's
right.
fucking do it.
All right. Don't forget to go to joesloveham.com.
Not just one.
Not just one.
Oh, I miss Erica.
Yeah, I do miss Erica. But she'll be back. And I'm excited for
Can't
tonight.
believe she fed Rocky that whole ham.
All right. Anyway, without further ado, let's do this. 18 plus, last man standing.
You've made it! After a 5-year-long search for the next manager, you are one of the 100 selected finalists for the senior management position. We'll be flying you to sunny Las Vegas for your final interview. And remember, the job will only go to the last manager standing.
Las Vegas, Nevada. The city that never sleeps. The city of sin. The city of angels. The city of demons. Only some of these names are correct, and only a few of them apply as you step out of the car that brought you from the airport and onto the sunny Las Vegas Strip. It's been 5 long years of interviews. You'd all but given up a few times, but every time you were ready to throw in the towel and say, enough, that prestigious email would boom into your inbox saying that you made it to the next round. What's the job? Well, no one knows exactly. Part of this feels like you're almost about to take over for Willy Wonka with the unknowns surrounding this prestigious job. All of the magazines plastered over their front page 5 years ago when it was announced. The most prestigious job in the world, officially to be the highest paid position ever. That's right. Ever. This last email, the one that says you've made it to the finals, flew you first class to the Grand Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas for the final round. What's in store for you? God only knows. And as you enter the lobby, you find yourself greeted by a group of somewhat familiar faces. William, who are we looking at first?
You are looking at John Abner, God Among Men, Olympus Talent Management. John's been part of the process for going on 5 years now, and in the meantime, managing great podcast celebrities like Bo Brogan and many more. Vicious competitor behind the scenes, but pleasant to everyone in these lobby meetings that I cannot wait to be over with.
And John, as you walk into this room, one that you've seen a million times before, you lock eyes with someone that you've seen many times and, in fact, grabbed lunch with after a few of the interviews. See, within these interview processes, you formed small cliques, and the 4 of you tend to come together every time. This time, the most prestigious. John, as you lock eyes with James's character, James, what are you doing and who are we looking at?
You're looking at Brian Davids, and Brian is currently at the counter of a small kiosk asking a bellhop where he can get the best coffee. Brian comes from old money, you see. He's never really had a regular job, but he's almost blown through his inheritance at this point because really he just doesn't understand money. Like, what could a banana cost? Like $12? He thinks he can solve anything. He doesn't know when to quit. He is a frequent. He frequents his local yoga studio, and he is vegan. And he is just. He's trying to get. Obviously, this is the best job, and he deserves the best. So this should be his first job. Obviously.
John, as you walk over to Brian, was it?
Yes, Brian.
I feel like is that an Irish spelling?
No,
Welsh.
no. This is one of those spellings of if you go to like the best example of this is if you go to Utah, and you find like whatever's coming after Gen Z, that age group coming up, their parents have decided to name them a regular name phonetically, but spell it absolutely absurdly. Brian is part of this generation. So
it's a Mormon spelling.
Braeghanne. Brian.
It's amazing. Brian, as you see John walk over and the two of you give the finger, the head nod, whatever it ends up being, swiping in from the side, you see the one and only Sophie Sandwich. Joe, can you tell us who we're looking at?
Sophie Sandwich is a dangerously beautiful woman. She's a venture capitalist and a day trader. She manages money, and people's money survives and grows under her vast knowledge of what the stock market is and does, which I will speak no more of. She is a shark in the waters of this town, and the world is her oyster, and other such sayings. And Sophie's ready for this. She has been expecting this email. So when it came to her, she put on her shiniest stockings, and she hopped on that plane, and she's fucking here, baby.
She glistened up her tattoo of Girl Boss.
That's
on
right.
Her arm.
Mm-hmm.
She's got sleeves.
She's got a
Girl
tramp
Boss.
stamp that says Girl Boss.
Amazing. Sophie, you enter sort of in between Brian and John, and the three of you share that look. And you all sort of simultaneously look toward the door because you know any second who will enter. And sure enough, walking through that door, you see the one and only Rock Dangerstone. Rock, who are we looking at?
So what you see is like a 6'5", just Adonis, bald head, gigantic, muscular, like huge biceps, huge chest. He's wearing a khaki shirt and very short khaki shorts. And if this was like a movie, it would flash back to his audition tape for this job, and he would just like, "Yes, sir, my name is Rock Dangerstone. I believe I'm the best for this position, mainly because I don't manage people. I'm a manager at a zoo. I look after animals. Animals are the real beasts of this world. I know what a predator looks like when I see one. I can see it in their eyes. If I can do that with a tiger, or a lion, or a fat pig, I can do it with a man, or a woman, any kind. I'm the best for this job, because I manage animals. And at the end of the day, we're all animals, aren't we?" And then he'll just...
And that's what got you the
little
interview.
freeze frame.
Yeah, so, and you see Rock walk straight up between the three of you and order his signature cocktail, which is, of course...
"Have a glass of water, please."
Classic Dangerstone.
Classic Dangerstone. And you know, the four of you are kind of the competition to beat. You already see the other cliques, you know, the less popular cliques, you know, in the corners eyeing you nervously. And the four of you have been together and you haven't seen each other probably, you know, in 7 months or so.
Brian, Sophie, Rock, good to see you all. How was the ride?
See you too, William. Can I call you Bill? Do we call you Bill yet?
Oh, John. John would be the name that I have been given.
Oh, God,
since
I'm so
birth in this
stupid.
Fictional universe, but I'm sure somewhere
It's
else
actually-
out there in the great expanse of possibility that is all universes.
I'm sorry, I've had too much water to drink here, John. So sorry about that. He'll put it down. I took a sip.
Change the accent.
No, don't change it. Don't do it. Make Joe pee. As long as James doesn't pass out. James, you breathe. Keep breathing.
I'm breathing. I'm keeping a mind on it.
Good.
Sophie, how's the portfolio?
Oh, you know, John, it's fine. It's great.
Man, it's just my money as well. I'm fucking rich.
That's right. Of course you are, Rock.
Sophie Sandwich is the best. She knows exactly what goes between two pieces of bread. More bread.
Money.
Well, bread is, yeah, that's what yeah. Bread and money.
Gotcha.
That's right.
The doors to the convention center open, and immediately people start filing into the large auditorium. This, or rather an analog of this, is what you've been to every stage. You know, they'll file at the beginning, you know, millions of people into various places all over the world and try to interview them and weed them out. But as it's become more selective over the years, you know, from 10,000 to 1,000 to now the final 100, you've come to more prestigious and smaller venues. And as you all move into this room and find these lavishly decorated chairs in this gorgeous ballroom, it's beyond anything, well, all of you have seen this. It's beyond anything us normal humans have seen. Not these rich, elite, amazing people that we see before us. And you find your chair. In fact, every chair seems to be individualized for the person. That's how prestigious this is. You know, Sophie, you see yours is like a large baguette. Abner, yours is like red glass.
A throne of the golden swords of my enemies, yes.
Yes, all the swords are melded, and you see, you know,
lightning bolts.
And it's got bull testicles at the top of it. Joe Rogan's signature. And Brian, you know, what does your throne look like?
Brian's throne is essentially a wooden chair gilded in silver.
Yes, that's right. And then Rock, uses just a large
It's a big inflatable
boulder.
ball. Good for your core. Good for keeping your core upright and your hips strong.
filled with water.
I mean, those shorts show off your powerful thighs just so excellently.
In a quiet voice, he'll be like, "Thank you for noticing. Thank you very much for that. I'm proud
Gentlemen,
of my voice."
Improvement.
have you done any research into what entails what's going to be in store for us today? I have looked into the stock portfolios of a number of the people here, and I think we have a good chance.
That's really good to know. I think that it's gonna be something just big, something really big. It's gonna be really big, and it's gonna be very us. and it's gonna be
I'm
big.
done with the one-on-one interviews. Have to stop. I think that we need an opportunity to really demonstrate our personal skills.
Yeah, not the sound of that.
I don't think we have a good chance. I think it's impossible for us to fail. We are the four most talented people here, two of the best looking, and two of the wealthiest. This group has single-handedly banded together since the first year, and we've managed to keep every one of our four members in the competition.
Yeah, right. You hear a voice cut through the crowd, and you
God.
turn over to see Marcus Minx. If there was one jerk in this group, it would be impossible to count because there's just too many. But Marcus Minx is definitely one of them. And you see him standing there with his left-hand man, Davis Surrath, and beside him, the twig-like figure of Aaron Berger. And in the back, the sort of rock analog, Timmy, with 11 M's.
Timmy?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And Marcus locks eyes with you, John, and says, "You think you got the best crew? We're the smartest, best, most beautiful managers here. Right, Aaron?" And Aaron sneers at you, Sophie.
How is it that wherever we go, they've got you working the floor polishing?
Oh,
Oh,
you think
sick
you're
burn.
smart. You think you're smart, don't you? You think you're real clever. Timmy, show him what you do. And Timmy, who's sort of like an exact carbon copy of Rock, except sort of all the colors are inverted. He like steps up, like you're wearing a red Speedo, he's wearing
It's a
a
big
blue Speedo.
fake head of hair.
Exactly. It's just kind of like opposites. He walks out and he looks at you, Rock, and he's like, You're not so good looking.
Could say the same about you. Your lats are looking soft.
Your lads are looking softer. Damn it, Marcus. He
Flexing
turns
them.
around. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Well, we got the brains on our team. And he nudges Davis, who's wearing glasses, and he kind of looks down. He's like, yeah. Yeah. I'm the smart one.
Yeah, you're.
Show him, Davis. Do some calculus. And Davis like sighs, and he pulls out a calculator, and he starts just plugging away at it.
Couldn't help but notice, gentlemen, that your show, Three Rocks Talking, has dropped out of the top 50 on Spotify. Ooh.
That's just because we're moving networks. We've got an offer from a high-profile network called Horns.
Yeah.
You're
I'm sure
telling me
Lark
that
is
you
screwed.
haven't established your own network yet?
Pitiful. Pitiful.
That is embarrassing.
Oh, yeah? Well, who was on the cover of People's Magazine this year? Aaron Berger, not your sandwich.
And it looked like the mink she was wearing was some kind of roadkill. Where did you find that thing, Aaron?
She stands up and, like, wobbles, and she's like, I'll have you know, they slaughtered 15 Dalmatians for that.
15?
magazine.
I did
Only-
them myself.
Sad.
Well,
Just sad.
let's just see who's sad when it comes down to you versus us.
I think it'll be you. As we've established, it's going to be you.
Sophie pulls out.
Yes, who wins? That's right.
Sophie pulls out a packet of fat-free potato chips and just crunches one very aggressively at Aaron.
And she goes, "Can you spare the weight?"
Crunch.
And they all turn and walk away. And as you get to your seats, I love that no one's got clever one-ups because everyone's an idiot. Yeah, well, you. And you make your way to your seats, and the lights dim in a very ominous presentation manner, and you hear the click of the doors and the lock of the keys as you are sealed in this large banquet room. For a moment, there's an eerie chill that seems to blow through the crowd. Perhaps the air conditioner was too loud or too strong or just not working. But a chill runs up your spine. And when the lights come up on stage, you see a man walk out. A man you've seen many times. This is Sneebly Sniverings. The man. And he is the man. Because he's the one who always tends to run these things. You saw him back when it was 10,000 people. He'd stand at the front calling after one, after another for the small interview. You saw him when it was 1,000. He was a little bit more cordial at that point. But at this point, with 100, there's almost a personal air to the way he speaks as he walks out. He walks to the podium, leans on it, breaks the tension with a smile, a few laughs in the crowd. So you've made it this far. The crowd laughs again a little bit. I suppose you're the best of the best. Uproarious applause comes from everybody, so eager to stroke their own egos as they just clap loudly for themselves. Yes, well, this is, of course, the final round to getting the managerial position. Beyond uproarious now, as people can barely stay seated. Okay. And he turns to the sides. The doors are locked. There's sort of an ominous hum from the corners. Brilliant. With a wave of his hand, Sneebly's appearance begins to melt. What was once lush, pale skin, and short, orange curly hair falls away as if a bloody mask sloths off his face and falls to the floor in a wet thump. And you see beneath scaled skin, deep red, fangs beneath, and large horns that stick out of his head. He pulls his suit jacket off as wings stretch out from either side of his back and give a whoomp as bits of blood and leathery skin go flying to either side. The crowd says nothing as this impish creature, which is much shorter than Sneebly was, presents its form and then turns back to the podium and claws up. It taps the mic. Doom, doom, doom. Yes, well, I suppose, with you being the final 100, there's no reason for formalities anymore. As you all know, you have all been up for the managerial position. And again, despite this creature ripping off its skin and appearing as an imp, an uproarious applause happens again. Yes. He kind of gives a side look to someone on the sidelines. Anyway, the managerial position is for Satan. We are looking for the very best of the best to be the new envisioner of Satan themselves. That's quite a prestigious position when you think of how grand everything is. And the crowd is kind of silent as he speaks. So we want someone who's good at rebranding, someone who's good at go-getiveness, someone who's got a good edge on the competition. And that truly is what today is about, he says, as the murmurings begin. Competition. There are many ways we could pick the perfect person to manage our Lord Satan. But he decided the best way would be to be a little bit of, how could I say this? The only person left alive. And with that, the side doors open again. Now, I want to ensure each and every one of you that you'll have a fair chance. The Las Vegas Strip is sprinkled with plenty of weapons and places to hunt. There are no rules, of course. Kill any of your fellow mates here, or hide and cower. Satan appreciates both alike, those who take initiative and those who self-preserve. But keep in mind, and as the doors have opened and you see figures walking from the sides, you sort of see these large, red demon figures swooping in. Satan also doesn't play fair, and we'll have a few of our own who have been eager to get up and have a little fun. And with that, you begin hearing screams throughout the corners of the crowd. These large, menacing 8-foot demons are swiping large chunks of flesh out of the people sitting on the edges. And no one really understands what's going on. Just kind of like is this... Yeah.
It's amazing. The special effects are fantastic.
So, without further ado, last one alive wins the job. And don't worry, we'll know. Good luck! Sneebly snaps his fingers, and he disappears as the house lights come up. There's an odd moment of calm in the center. And then, Sophie, as you're sitting there, hearing screams around you, an eyeball slaps your cheek and falls towards your feet. And the four of you realize you are in for some shit.
Should we break for lunch?
I think that'd be a good idea. I'm rather
Yeah,
peckish myself.
I know of a wonderful place just down the street. Perhaps we
Yes,
should...
I think it's time to go.
Yes, let's
People
go
are like
there.
pushing by you right now, like
gotta be
starting
a
to just like
line.
move throughout you as you're like trying to talk around them.
Yeah.
I think we very calmly try to just walk out and head to a nice little lunch spot.
Sure, yeah. You turn around, you're like
Yeah.
trying to move through a crowd. A woman
Yeah.
runs by, her throat is slit. She like just like blood spurts up on Rock's face as she runs
Oh,
down.
he
John is just
quickly
gonna
wipes
walk
that off.
like the Terminator.
Yeah, okay, yeah, John, you just start walking. You're just kind of moving. Rock, yeah, you just wipe blood off your face.
He
Sophie, what are
starts
you doing?
dabbing something under his nose, just like a gel-like substance.
Ooh, okay. Sophie, you're moving through. Everyone's kind of panicking.
Yeah, Sophie is doing more of a nervous mince atop her stilettos, looking left and right. She is not confident in this situation. She does not like to get her hands dirty. She usually has other people do that for her, so she's very interested in keeping close to these capable-looking gentlemen.
Perfect. Yeah, you get to the doors that were kind of leading you in here, not the outside doors, but the doors to this room, and people are already trying to like open them, but you can see the only side doors are open, and there's like kind of a panic there as people are pushing up. Blood just seems to be smearing, and as you look around, you see this 8-foot tall demon just kind of swiping through the crowd back and forth, cutting off heads. Blood is spraying everywhere as the four of you are kind of pressed up
Whoa.
against this wall.
That crowdfunder's getting canceled.
I'm starting to
have
think
to
this is a bit
avoid.
serious. And now, are we close to the door at all?
Yeah, you're kind of like getting, up against it. There's maybe like 8 people trying to push through to get to the door.
Yeah, Rock will just reach behind and for no reason pull out a giant machete, be like, you never know, you'll find yourself in the bush, in the zoo, there's bush in the zoo, and we'll start hacking at the door.
Rock, you don't have to
Amazing.
explain. You pull out your machete at least twice a week.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that is correct.
Rock, you start chopping at these, people are grabbing it. You're just cutting off limbs as you're like trying to chop the door open. And why don't you give me a roll? That's right. We're playing a roll game tonight. Did anybody make character sheets or did everybody make character sheets?
I got one.
I got
Yeah.
Nice. So here's what I need from you, Rock Dangerstone. I need you to roll a d6, and if you get under the number that you picked as your physical offensive skill, then you succeed, which would be your dexterities. So you just have to roll
dexterity?
under
Okay.
dexterity. Yeah.
Under dex, yeah. I did, I got a 2. And I
Perfect.
set my dex at 5.
With a hearty chop, you cut through 3 limbs and the lock that seems to be stopping the door. The door swings open as people pile onto the ground, just as the demon is coming inches closer to everyone's face. He swipes back and forth and back and forth. John and Sophie, you're sort of at the back. Why don't you both give me an defensive physical roll?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Now, if you have a positive or a negative trait that would come into effect now, let me know.
So I do have a positive trait that might
Brilliant.
help.
So you're going to get to roll 2d6.
Okay. And then my defensive, which is Dex, I believe. Is
Vitality.
It'd be vitality.
Oh, vitality! Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. We have it.
Perfect.
I failed.
Sophie, you get a large chunk of skin ripped out of your side as this demon claw swings by and just blood just squirts onto the wall beside you a little bit. You're still standing. It's only about, like a deep cut, but it feels very, very painful.
Oh
How
God.
do you react?
I scream.
Yeah.
I drop to my knees for a second. I clutch my side. And I stand back up. Okay, it's time to leave now, gentlemen.
Perfect.
Listen, Abner kind of like tucks her like towards the door as Rock machetes through and the doors bust open. Never express weakness, or they will kill you.
Shut up, John.
As you push out into the lobby,
just shove some money in it, and Brian will hand you
yes.
$300 in fives. And just
all I have is
plastic.
Shove
it in there, and it'll be fine.
Thank you.
Just help staunch the wound.
Perfect, Brian. As you push out into the lobby, you see a group of podcasters trying to talk to the demon, and you know they're wearing all their red MAGA hats, and they're like, "It's just free speech, you don't understand." And the demon, with one fell swoop, just slices all of them in half, and all of their innards just go splatting against the wall. And even as the demon begins walking towards you, he stops and like stomps on one's head and just squishes it back and forth, and like really seems to lavish killing this person for some reason. But Brian, you do see a man running up to you. He's like panicked. You see his like jaws dislocated, and he's like, help me.
No. and Brian will grab him and then just shove him towards the big demon.
Perfect. And as he trips back, the demon just grabs him by his head and lifts him up and swallows him whole. And you watch this man get eaten alive. And it's perfect. Great job. Inspiration for you, James. And the four of you are in the lobby. Now you can leave out to the front, or you notice that off of this, there are the casino, hotel rooms, elevator. Do you leave for the strip, or do you head to the side?
What's a good lunch place around here?
Yeah, we wanted to get some lunch, right?
Yeah, so probably through the casino. Casinos always have like buffets.
Gotta go down to the bottom floor.
Let's go to the buffet and we'll chat.
That's fair. It's fair.
Perfect. Yeah,
sounds good.
As you begin moving to the buffet, you see the people at the check-in and kind of the people that work at the hotel, seemingly unfazed by this. I mean, they see the blood and they're reacting to it, but they don't seem to be reacting to the 8-foot-tall demons the way you'd expect them to. They're sort of like, sir. They're like trying to call out to it like it's a normal person. And you push past into the casino as these demons sort of begin to fan out and continue seeking out those who have run away.
I want to hail somebody.
Yeah.
An assistant of some kind.
Hello, ma'am.
Casino
What's up?
Assistant. I will pay you $10,000 to get me a Band-Aid.
Done. And he runs away.
Great.
Good stuff.
And you continue moving to the casino.
Yeah.
Perfect. You hit the casino floor. It's filled with gamblers and addicts and people who are just there to have a great time. And as you move through the blinging machines and the rolling dice, there's sort of a calm that fills you for a moment until you see the distinctive dark horns moving ahead of you as if they're cutting you off.
Oh God, he's gonna get all the shrimp before us.
I splay my arms out against Brian and Rock. We can't just run from these things. Come on, we have to put our heads together. Listen, to think managerial, right? That's what this whole thing is about. You understand? We can't just... John, I understand you're very hungry. We can't just go and have lunch, okay?
Well,
we have to outwit this situation, please.
To be honest, all the organs splaying everywhere has kind of ruined my appetite. Lunch was a pretense so that we could all have a little conversation between ourselves. They're saying last man standing. What I'm hearing is, once you're the manager, you can do whatever the fuck you want, which includes hiring several of your friends as high up level employees.
That's clever. I like that.
Yeah, so if we're going to survive this, we are going to need to kill a number of people, including most of my podcasting competition, which actually will work out great for the charts in a couple of weeks. Rock, have you ever killed an animal?
Yes, I've killed him many times. This guy looks like a predator to me. I think we need some bait to throw him off our case. And Rock's going to reach over to someone's arm, chop it off with the machete, and fuck it across the room.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Fitch!
go. it's a slot person. They don't even realize their arm's gone. They just switch to the other arm. Social commentary. Yeah, that's amazing. Why don't you give me a roll? Because that's really clever.
Yeah, so my positive is I'm scary strong. Shall
Yeah, you
I
are.
roll
Yeah,
2
sure.
for that?
If you're gonna chuck it far, I think that could absolutely be a bonus.
He wants to, like, he sees the horns coming and he's like, I want him looking over that way, not towards us.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
a 1 and a
dice
3,
tower.
so I 3D printed a dice tower.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
I got
Good
it.
job. Awesome. Yeah, you chuck it over there, and you see this thing just land with a splat, and you see the demon kind of turn and begin following that way. So you find yourselves again on the main casino floor of the Bellagio. Right now, you are down by the conservatory and lobby. You see ahead of you, there's the Baccarat bar, there's the cage, there's the high limit slot, there's the north entrance and shops or the promenade shops, there's the theater. Where are you heading?
Now, I've never been in a casino, or actually I have once, but I don't know some of this vernacular. Cage, that sounds like a secure location to go to. Is that like
That's
a fake
I believe
cage
that's
or real
typically
cage?
where they like exchange
you out and
money
stuff.
for chips.
Yeah.
We want to go there, right? Let's
Yeah.
find weapons.
Yes.
Okay? Because I agree,
Yes.
Rock. We're going to have to, and John, we're going to have to kill other people, which is fine.
Sounds a bit rough.
So we need weapons. I don't have a Jenny the Machete just like Rock has, but I think once we have our weapons, we need to get somewhere safe, somewhere we can hole up for a little while.
And as you walk over to the wall, you see that there's a full map of the Bellagio, if you decide to stay in this hotel. And you can see that there are various places that you can hide, should you so choose. Depending on what you want to do.
Ideally, I would like a gun. People can't have guns in casinos,
People
right?
can have whatever they want in a casino. This is an RPG.
It's America.
Are they allowed to have that?
Why not?
Yes, it's America.
I don't know. We don't have guns in Canada.
Yeah, it's true.
Great. I'm gonna look around for the rootinest, tootinest slots puller, and I'm
There
gonna
you
rob
go.
him.
Yeah,
Yes.
you see a dude standing there as the creature is momentarily distracted. You see a cowboy standing there pulling the slots, and he's like, "Well, damn, that's another one I lost."
Are we allowed to, in many other games, there's kind of a help action. Is there a help when it comes to this game?
I don't remember. Probably not, though. But yeah, let's do it. Sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you? Oh, yeah, there is. You can give Joe an extra die if you're helping.
Yeah. So, as Sophia goes around the one side, John will go around the other and be like, "Hey, do you listen to the Bo Brogan podcast?"
And it's just like, Bo Brogan? Nah, I don't believe in none of that nonsense. I'm a pure Christian man myself. Love me the Christian podcast, the one that tells me everybody I hate is going to burn in hell. They validate my way of thinking about the world, which many find ignorant.
Oh,
but
yeah.
And
yeah.
as he
After my wife left me because I was so ignorant, my
Like,
children
dude,
don't speak to me no more.
Chad and Michael
I think
talk
I'm-
about the vengeance of Christ. Yeah, I love that one.
Exactly.
as he bloviates,
love that
I
movie.
steal his guns.
love that movie.
Multiple guns.
Yeah.
Give me a dexterity roll.
Okay. I made it. I just made it.
Nice. Yeah, you pulled 2 6-shooters out of this guy's
Nice.
6-shooter belt. And now you got guns, baby.
Excellent. I stow them in my gun
Yeah,
holder
and he
that
turns around and he's
every
like,
American
Did you just steal
has.
my guns? I swear, another woman trying to take things from me. God, I hate women and everybody that's not me.
I just wink at him like in a seductive way, and I walk away all swooshy.
And his hat goes because he's so angry.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were gonna shoot him, but sure.
Nah.
Anyway,
We don't have to shoot everyone, do we?
I mean,
Just the people who are managerial.
you don't do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah, I shoot him.
Yeah, there you go.
I was gonna say, Rock just like cut off somebody's arm at a slot machine. I think
Out of
it's-
necessity, that one holding court.
Well, there's a context here. Remember, you're going for manager of Satan. What do you think Satan's going to appreciate?
Nah, you're
That
right.
you killed people or that you played it safe?
I turn around and I blow his fucking brains out.
Yes, and it's right when he's like,
Nice.
and another thing I hate about
then he-
women.
And then he gets a jackpot, and I'm like, "Pff, I don't need that.
No, you shoot it. Yeah, you shoot him as he gets jackpot.
Yeah.
Bam! Everyone starts running. There's a gun that goes off. People start screaming and running away, except for 90% of the people who still keep gambling. The demon is now no longer distracted and starts walking towards you.
Shit.
It's looking straight at you, Brian.
Yeah, Brian, take that.
Hello. Tell me, what are your benefits like?
It picks up a slot machine and throws it at you. Give me a dexterity roll.
That's very fair. Dexterity. You want dexterity or vitality?
Oh, vitality. Give me vitality.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and just kind of bend out of the way using my practiced yoga skills.
Love it.
Oh.
And that'll pass.
Nice. Yeah, it goes swinging past you and smashes on the wall and kills another person. And he's like,
None of you are worthy of Satan. I will destroy all of you and earn his managerial degree myself.
Hold on, you're up for the position?
and he laughs.
Of course. Don't you understand? You always hire internally before looking outward. We offer equal opportunities in hell.
You don't stand a chance.
What's your name, good sir? As I'm backing away slowly.
Grabbelin
Goblin, Gavin Grod. Have you considered starting a podcast?
No, but I will use your head for one.
And he picks up and throws it at you too, John. Give me a vitality roll. This time with a negative die. So from here on out, we're doing negative die. I want you to roll 2 d6s. One is going to be your positive, and one is going to be your negative. And I'm going to tell you what happens when you resolve them.
All right. So, my vitality is 2.
Yeah.
My negative die is 2. My positive die is 6.
Perfect. So, your positive die failed, which means you do not succeed, and because your positive die didn't negate the negative die, you take a wound. So, what happens is, you get hurt, and you fill in one of those little squiggly boxes down on your sheet that says wounds. You just scratch in the first one. You fill it in. John, how do you get hurt when he throws this machine at you?
Surprisingly, the machine itself whizzes past me, but John has chronically high blood pressure, and the adrenaline rush of it chills his otherwise usually placid countenance, and kind of gets him breathing arrhythmically.
Amazing. Perfect. Yeah. And he laughs menacingly and gets ready to charge. He like kind of turns down towards the floor.
Sophie starts running.
There you go.
Yeah, she's gonna start fucking booking it towards where this cage area is.
Sure.
And then she looks over her shoulder and she's like, "Come on, you idiots!"
Perfect. Yeah, you run towards the cage. So the cage, maybe it'd be fair to describe the cage. So the cage is sort of a very thin wire 360 thing that the cash outs stand in to exchange your money for chips.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could shoot through it and destroy it.
Okay.
It's not a jail.
I was picturing like a bulletproof glass vibe.
No, not really. And that's why I think it'd make more sense to give you an example.
Oh,
of
I
what it
appreciate
is.
that.
Yeah.
Harlan's, are you Googling
I was going to give you a
cages?
picture, but I don't see an easy one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fine, but they're not going to do what you think they're going to do.
Right.
Okay. Well, Sophie would know that.
Yeah, exactly, because you'd see it.
Is the demon chasing us?
Oh yeah, it's ready. It's getting
Alright.
ready to like run down. What do you all want to do?
I'm
Rock
just
will
running
turn
away.
around and do full Chris Pratt Jurassic Park. Hey boy, look at me. Hey boy. Good. Look at me, boy. Look at me eyes. Look at me in the eyes, boy. Turn around and walk away. Walk away, boy. Oi. Look at me. Eyes on me, boy. And he'll
Perfect.
keep doing that, thinking, yeah, this will definitely work. Yes. Beastly.
That's great. Yeah, give me a charisma roll.
Oh, no.
I want you to roll 1 positive die and 2 negative die.
Okay. I have to get a 1. I've no charisma. I put it all into physical because he's just a big brawny dickhead.
Yeah, totally.
So what am I doing? Just positive and negative?
Yeah, so you're gonna roll 1 positive. So roll that first and tell me if it succeeds.
Okay.
If it's a natural 1.
It is a 6.
Okay, and now roll 2 more die
Oh my god.
and hope that one of them is a 6 to cancel out a wound.
No, a 5 and a 3.
Perfect. So here's what happens: you fail, and you take 2 wounds. because this thing barrels down on you and rams you with its horns. You see Rock Dangerstone do this really awesome thing, and then this 8-foot demon rams him. You see the horn rip through his side and smashes through the wall of the Bellagio and brings you out into the strip, where as you kind of see through the hole that he's just caused in the side of the house or in the building, the strip is in chaos now. Demons are just tearing the heads off of innocent people. You see demons tossing people up just to see how hard they'll land. They're standing on cars. It's chaos. There's smoke, fire alarms. People are everywhere. And Rock Dangerstone, you are impaled by this horn, which breaks off in the wall. And then the demon starts growing another one.
Wow.
And you can spend a turn to get yourself off that. What is everyone else doing?
Brian's gonna run over to where Rock has been impaled and try and pry out the horn that's stuck in the wall and then stab the demon in the face.
Ooh, nice. Hero stuff. Brian,
Hero
go for
stuff.
It.
Going
Give me
for it.
So that's going to be a physical roll. You're going to pull it. Let's give you a dexterity.
Okay.
You can modify it if you have any positives or negative or anything like that.
I don't think so.
Perfect. Give me a roll.
I fail.
Okay. So you try as hard as you can, but that thing is really in there. Rock, what do you do? This thing's in you. You can kind of just squish out it if you want to take some damage.
Can I have given Brian the help action to, like, I see what he's doing? I see what
Sure.
you're doing there,
Yeah.
Brian.
Why don't you
Okay.
roll one more die, James? Yeah, that's a
Got
good call.
it. That one will succeed.
Nice. How do you guys get off together?
Fantastically well.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Are you pulling the horn out of me, right? Is that what you're doing?
No,
To,
I'm
like,
pulling
use
the
it as a-
horn out of the wall.
Okay, yeah.
Who's the penetratee and who's the penetrator?
Yeah. I mean,
It might be best for us to look
so
away.
Rock is penetrated, right? And Brian is going to go
Ow, bottom.
over and get his own penetration device and penetrate it into the penetrator of Rock.
Perfect. Yeah, you get off.
Penetrated me.
You both get off together, and you are now loose. The demon is regrowing its horn and laughing menacingly. Sophie and John, what are you doing?
Go ahead, John.
So those two are now fist fighting with the demon, correct?
They're free now. I don't know if they. Oh yeah, you did get it free. So yeah, they could be
slashy.
fighting next turn. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but they're like, I mean, they're right next to him, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sophie sees
cause or
where
not?
Sophie sees where this demon is at. She vaguely wants to help Brian and Rock because they'll probably save her ass at least once over the course of this interview process.
True.
But she is not hurrying over.
Slowly walking.
Having shot a man in the head for the first time 15 seconds
Just
ago,
to watch him die.
she really liked it.
Ooh,
And
that's what I want to hear. More of that. Inspiration for you.
Thank you. She begins to stalk up and down the rows of these slot machines, looking for people that she recognizes from the interview
Yeah,
room.
you turn and you see, like, sniffling away, there's Aaron Berger, and she's like, oh, Sophie, you're all right. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I'm actually doing just fine.
Listen, we can work together. You and I, we can. We should turn on each of our teams, and then we can rise to the top. Girl boss. And
Yes.
She shows you a tattoo that looks similar to yours.
Oh, you're so right. Girl boss. Absolutely. Here, let me help you up. And I tiptoe over there on my little stilettos and reach down to help her up. And then as she reaches for my hand, I just shoot her right in the face.
Yes, inspiration again.
Thank
Two
you.
inspirations.
And then
more
I
of that.
continue walking over towards where my companions are fighting this demon.
Brilliant. Yes, amazing. John, what are you doing? You're standing in the
As-
broken hole of the street.
Yeah, as Brian and Rock both, have all wielding their horns, go to try and enter this large demon.
Ooh.
Wow.
I
Perfect.
think John climbs up to the top of one of the gambling machines.
Yes.
And he's gonna do something charisma-y.
Ooh.
He's gonna say, "Hey, Gravid Grod Cod God Draw Dag Dora Da Gadora Da 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 Da. I've got a proposition for you. You want to be Hell's best man, right?"
Okay. Yeah. You stand. I imagine like the machine got thrown through the wall to the street. So you're on the because they're out on the street. They're like on the other side of the street now.
Okay.
So
In
you
which
get
case,
up on the.
I'll perch in the hole.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. He turns to you. Give me a roll. Give me. What are your positive features? For
My positive for social is avid people person.
yeah, I'll give you a bonus for that. So give me 2 positive and 1 negative.
All right. So my 1 negative is 2. My positives are 6 and 3, and my charisma rating is 5.
Perfect. So that's a success, but you also take a wound. So this is what's cool about this game. So you're going to take a social wound, which means that you are fractured in some way. You can tell us how, but you do succeed at drawing his attention.
So, John says, you want to be the best man in hell out of 1,000 legions of demons, right? Yeah. It's not going to happen without publicity. You need to market yourself. And you may be the best demon in hell for the job. I admit it. I'm not the talent. I'm the guy who markets the talent. And I am damn good at that. Let me be your publicity manager. We'll get you to the top. By the time this day is done, you'll be lead in charge of hell.
He seems to consider it for a second. Meanwhile, Rock and Brian, you're behind this thing with a horn. What do you do?
I feel like Rock takes out like a pre-packaged sterile dressing. Like, you never know when you're going to get bitten by an ostrich or some sort of wild dog. And he'll just like slap it over, horn still in his body, just kind of around, not really doing much. Just like, you've got to sterilize the wound. And I'm going to try chop the demon's head off with my machete.
Okay, perfect. Now, Brian, you did pull the horn out. So he's patching the hole. You have a horn.
Okay.
Brian, what are you doing? Are you going to try to attack the demon at the same time?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. So I'll give you both rolls with advantage because you're both sort of helping each other.
Bit by an ostrich.
2 positives each and 1 negative each.
Okay, I'll do my 2 positives first. Okay. I got a 6 and a 1, but I suppose I'm duty-bound to ask, do my 2 wounds hinder that roll?
No, they're great.
Okay, so I got one failure, one success. With
now roll your negative die.
That's a 3, which is my dex is 5.
Brilliant. So you take a wound by doing this because you hurt your little self, but you do succeed. Meanwhile, Brian?
I succeeded on everything.
Oh,
Nice.
amazing.
I got a 3 and a 1 for my dex, and then I got for the positive, and then a 4 on my dex for my negative, but my score is a 4.
Perfect. So, yeah, basically, you both attack this thing from either side. And what I love about this is, John, you see the demon sort of take a half step towards you and contemplate your offer. And he's like, if we work together, we could conquer all of these demons easily.
No, bud. You would conquer. I get no credit. I'm just the manager.
Well then, you have yourself a
And his head just slides off his shoulder as you see Rock like clinging to his back and Brian like clinging to his shoulder as they both like I kind of imagine Rock like hacks it like a tree and then Brian like wedges it out like, you know, like a pickaxe. Like uses it as like a leverage. And
Sorry, bud.
I just
remembered. I only hire talent.
Oh, there's a sick zinger! I love that one!
falls over with a menacing thump. And as the demon dies, the sky goes red. And you suddenly hear this like as everything around you starts to crack and thunder, and you look up and you see this cloud in the sky begin to move overhead, and as it grows larger, you realize it's not a cloud. It's 1,000 winged imps that all start descending upon all of the people outside. From the end of the strip, you see a woman get lifted up and just dropped. You see another woman's getting her eyes gouged out. These are like 5 foot tall winged imp-like creatures that kind of look like Sneevely or whatever his name was. And they're just attacking people.
Sophie runs out into the street now. She's sprayed with blood on the one side of her face.
Definitely.
And she fucking GTAs. She like pulls someone out of the driver's seat of their car.
Here's our strip. So you're at something called the Bellagio, which I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere here. Let's just pretend.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretend it's that one in the corner.
So she she pulls a driver out of a car that's on the strip, and she's like, "Get in!" And she hops in the driver's seat.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, we pile in.
John takes shotgun. I do want to mention
his knees up in his chest.
I took a social wound, and I think the effect of that social wound potentially is that Abner very well might have double-crossed the group in that moment. I think he has become a little bit less trustworthy to his companions.
Sure.
Yeah.
However you want to do it. Cool. So you
slams in the door. I know a place.
Okay.
Where?
It's an underground, literally underground coffee bar. It's beneath a manhole. It's called the Black Gutter Cafe.
Okay.
Great coffee there, Brian. You'll love it.
But you understand, John, we have to do away with everyone else in this fucking competition, right? We can't just hide somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And as Sophie's fucking driving this whole time, and she's like ramming straight into demons and like veering out onto the sidewalk, and we can't just fucking hide, okay?
Like that guy in RoboCop that just gets hit by the van at the end, just disappears.
Yes.
Yeah, but you leave these little bug guys. Ow! Ooh, you clipped them. You leave them to do the work for the first hour or two. We kick back, and when we come back, there's only 2 or 3 people left.
Get a good
Sophie,
strategy.
could I please borrow one of your guns?
Yeah. Here. She throws it into the back seat.
Brian grabs it. He's gonna like shoot out the window and then lean out and just start like trying to pick people off.
Yeah, you're just firing as you're driving down the Las Vegas Strip and driving, and as you're getting to the end of the strip, you kind of see this like shimmery wall of like energy, and you're just driving towards it.
Oh, God.
Shit, and I pull the e-brake and I like fishtail out.
And as you do, basically the back of the car touches it, and like the back of the car just gets disappeared off and like severed like a fucking lightsaber, just gets cut off, and with that the car just turns and boom, just like stops because you've literally cut the wheels in half. And I kind of imagine Brian like turning around and like his bum showing because like it got cut off, and like Rock's ponytail, no, he doesn't have a ponytail, but like Rock's like shirt is like all singed off.
Yeah.
And you're now in a dead car at the end of the strip.
I get out of the car and I'm just like staring up at this force field.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Holy shit, I don't think we're going for coffee. And I look around. What do we got around us?
People, madness all around you. You're at the end of the strip, so you're next to something called the Tropicana Hotel, the Hacienda, the Dunes Motel.
I want to go into that.
Hacienda.
No, I want the Hacienda.
We got the Flamingo, the Sands, and
It's
there's also
themed.
a bunch of like people dressed as robots that are running around and screaming, and like people that look like, I don't know, whatever they do there. I don't know. I've never been.
Yeah, people dressed like robots.
I mean,
that sounds
pretty
like Las
accurate, yeah.
Vegas.
It's a normal thing.
The girls with the feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as you're standing there and people are getting torn apart, it starts raining, and you kind of hold your hand out and you realize that the rain is blood. Ooh. And you're catching it and sort of in your hand for a second, and it begins to burn.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck.
Tropicana?
Let's go.
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, you all run inside the Tropicana. Everyone takes 1 physical wound.
Ooh.
If you've maxed out your bar, let me know.
I have maxed out my bar.
Brilliant. Rock, here's how it works. When you max out a single bar, you get to remove a negative die now. It's actually a benefit. Basically, the way this game works is socially, physically, whatever, when you take enough wounds, you're actually more resistant to them. So, if you take 3 wounds, it just means that you're less worried by wounds from now. So you're actually a tougher mofo.
Can I clarify? Initially, when I took that wound in my side, I didn't roll any negative dice. I just failed on a positive dice. Did I take a wound for that or no?
I can't remember now. Probably not. No, I usually don't give wounds unless you actually roll a negative.
You didn't say
die.
anything, but I just wanted to make sure.
This top section here, the stress bit, or the bit down here?
Good question. Not the. Let me see. Not the stress bit, I don't think.
Okay, yeah, I've got the 1D, the 1W.
Sorry, no, yes, it is. It is the stresses and resistances.
Yeah,
so you fill out that. It says number 1. You fill in that little ball
first
next
track.
to 1, and once you get all 3 of those, you've created 1 resistance. So 3 stresses, 1 resistance. I'm sorry, I called them wounds. And then traumas are permanent things, but we're not going to live that long. Anyway, you run into.
You all aren't. I'm going to be fucking managing Satan.
You run into the Flamingo or Tropicana, was it?
Tropicana.
Whatever
Perfect.
closest
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you jump into the Tropicana as you're clothes are burning off and singeing. As you enter into the lobby, you see a series of people cowering.
Is there a fountain there, like just a water feature? You jump straight into it to like wash the burn off, and especially any blood that's on Rock's person.
Perfect. Yeah, Rocks, you get all the amazing blood off of you, and you feel much better, rejuvenated almost. And as you're kind of in the moment of calm, you see a bunch of people huddled and like, you know, I just wanted to make a podcast, man. I don't know what all this is about. I just wanted to be the marketing manager for everybody that's important in the world.
John, do you recognize them?
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? John here from behind the scenes at the Bo Brogan podcast.
Oh yeah, he's so cool and popular, and I really respect his opinion on things. He's so intelligent.
Yeah.
He's so much more intelligent than those woke idiots.
Oh, I mean, he kind of platforms all kinds. That way he can be, objectively free of blame.
He's the everyman, really. He's the really rich,
Exactly.
knowledgeable everyman.
Yeah, #1 in podcasting, everyman. Speaking of which show are you guys a part of?
Oh, we're on the Gorgon Peterson hour.
We've had Gorgon Peterson. We've had him as a
He's
guest.
such a visionary.
He's so smart. Have you heard of his all-egg diet? He only eats eggs raw and cooked all the time.
Barbarian.
I think while they're all sitting here talking about this, I want to find like a potted plant near the entrance, dump it out, and just kind of stick the pot outside to try and start catching like a big bucket full of this acid blood rain.
I like that. Inspiration.
That's smart.
Very smart.
Yeah, well...
Listen, gentlemen.
Gorgon Peterson's actually here. He's staying in the penthouse suite of this floor. He's holed up there. I think he's got a bunch of goods and supplies.
When he went on a big long rant last time he was on the show about how hell was real and, the demons live on the moon and we're about to invade and, war human skin, I thought we'd have to damage control that for the public. But,
no, he's a visionary.
Yeah, I guess so. Sophie.
Yeah, I shoot all these fuckers. Right in the face.
Yeah, bam, 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 bam. You shoot all of these people.
And then
you finish the last.
And then I want to get in the elevator to the penthouse as soon as Brian's got his.
Hold on one second.
As soon as Brian's got his pot full of acid.
I got a pot full of acid. I want to try and did these guys seem like they had picked up any of the supposed weapons around?
Yeah, everyone's
can I loot their bodies?
Yeah. Everyone finds their favorite weapon here.
Great.
Ooh,
nice. I'm just taking the podcasting equipment.
Got a really nice microphone. I find another machete.
Perfect. Rock your 2 machetes.
That's good.
I've got an Uzi for some reason.
Yeah, definitely. Brian, what do you have?
Brian found a super soaker for his bucket of acid.
Amazing.
He just fills it up.
Good.
It just smash cuts to you like Girl from Ipanema in the elevator, like boop, boop, boop. And you're like holding this jar trying to fill up a super soaker. Sophie's just covered in blood.
I'm like looking in the mirrored reflection of the fucking elevator, like fixing my mascara, and I'm just covered in blood. And I'm just like making sure it's not smudged.
And you open up the elevator, and there standing before you is Gorgon Peterson. He's like, "Oh, hello. I'm Gorgon Peterson." And like it's
just
like
melt his face.
Yeah, it's like Raiders and Lost Ark, where like his face is and as he does, like bugs crawl out of his skin because he's an inhuman monster, and he just like kind of melts and turns around and falls and crumples and falls to the floor, and his face smashes and just skids across the floor.
I give you a high five.
Show now, motherfucker.
Now these penthouses, they definitely have like what do you call them? Panic rooms. There has to be one here somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think sometimes they call that a sauna, but yes.
And additionally, we're going to be afforded quite the view of the strip. We make our way. I mean, Sophie goes to the window and looks down at the chaos.
Yeah, it's pretty ominous. There's sort of a large dark cloud overhead. You see the blood. You see the imp still swinging around. And every once in a while, there's like a thump on the window.
But are people just going about their business too? Or is everyone like in this?
I don't know, which is more interesting.
I think some people going about their business being like, was this some sort of flash mob? Like, what's
Cool, yeah. It's that.
coming
It's
up
also a
that I
show.
didn't
Yeah,
think
it's a
so.
social commentary on people too. Let's go with that then. Some people are just
Good,
like,
good.
oh, like you see a woman like getting ripped apart by an imp, and like a family taking a picture of her.
Yes.
And like, oh wow.
Street performers.
Exactly.
Let's do that.
Or
Yeah,
street
there's like TikTok videos being like there's like a person dancing to
There you
TikTok. There's
go.
like a headless corpse like just sitting next to them.
Perfect.
Social commentary. Yeah, and you're in this suite for a second. There's all these dead bodies. Unrelated.
Yeah.
Gorgon Peterson was just feasting. And
Naturally.
you're kind of moving through and you see these large windows in the sky outside. And
I go to
We
the
are-
fridge where there's a bottle of like a magnum of champagne chilling,
it's
and
just eggs. It's all eggs. It's
Oh
all eggs.
no! I close the door,
Rock,
disappointed.
what kind of eggs are those?
Let me have a look now. The southeastern Asian quail. Yeah, I know that fucking monster. They're endangered. You can't eat those eggs. They're illegal. That's
Inspiration. So good. Inspiration. I love
Rock
it.
will start like fighting the fridge. He's like, "Fuck you!" I know we're busy
Fire.
here, people, but this is an injustice.
The last
Another
30
inspiration.
eggs are all in that fridge.
That's
Oh,
so
God.
good.
Oh no!
And as you're standing there and
They're all
fighting,
boiled.
the glass smashes open and an imp kind of lands. It was carrying a human head and it sort of drops it and it looks towards you, Rock, and it goes, it hisses, and as it does, it spits acid at you. Give me a dexterity roll or vitality roll.
I want to rip the door of the fridge off is what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
Since I'm scary
smart.
strong, can I
Yeah.
have an extra one?
Absolutely, with advantage, definitely.
Now, Brian, we are currently
Pass.
watching Rock Dangerstone fight an acid-spitting imp that's just crashed through the main. What do you think this says about society?
Well, John, I think that especially about society, the imp is the kind of interloper here. But you have to really look at the aim of the
Can I help
spray.
Rock? I want to pour him a glass of water
Yeah, do it.
and slide it across the
fridge door.
counter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like spinach. Like you're pulling this fridge door and you can't do it. Did you succeed, by the way?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, but we'll say narratively you can't, and then
Right.
this water. Well, no, like you'll succeed, but like the water slides across, and you like fucking Popeye it. You like squeeze the water, and the glass breaks in your hand, but the water jumps out and goes down your gullet.
He just kind of
And
goes,
then-
"Thanks, Sophie.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know where I got them from."
And then you turn around and you block the acid with the door expertly because you're a badass. Then the imp gets angry and jumps at you and like kind of pushes the fridge onto you, and you kind of like are fighting with it. John, Brian, Sophie, what do you do?
I want to run and just jump tackle the imp off of Rock.
Yes, you do it. Okay, give me a roll. Give me a dexterity roll. 'Cause you're
Can I help by shouting advice based on this? Like, he's got the talons of a bald eagle and the wings of a fruit bat.
Absolutely.
Like, well, what do you do against that,
Okay.
Rock?
All right,
Absolutely.
rolling. That's beautiful.
Yank up on the talon and then stroke the wing.
Remember, everyone, stroke the wing.
Yeah, so I jump on it and I'm just like caressing the wings wildly, and I succeed.
Oh, nice.
So he's got this imp pinned to the floor.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm Ferengi umoxing this thing's wings. Just like
Nice.
sensually rubbing them.
Perfect. It really enjoys that for some reason.
I'm gonna run over and stamp its head in with my high heel.
Yes, you do it. You do it. You stamp its head in with your high heel. And as you do, you kind of look over the strip killing this imp and you realize that there's a crew down there and they're all back to back and they're shooting guns and they're doing a good job. In fact, you kind of all walk over the window for a second and you're seeing it's actually kind of impressive. And you wonder how Satan would feel seeing these impressive people doing a better job. And then you realize Marcus, Davis, Timmy, and they must have replaced Aaron already because there's another chick down there that just looks like a piece of shit. Fuck. And there's a moment
Sandra
between the four of
Baguette.
you. It's like the opposite of a hero moment. You know, in the moments in
Yeah.
the hero where like it pans and you're like, let's help. It's like the opposite where it pans and you're all like selfishly deciding.
This is our Empire Strikes Back, people.
I
All
don't
right.
know what that means.
Gonna look around. Is there a
There are 4 parachutes.
Is there a massive subwoofer sauna hot tub system in here?
Yes, and also parachutes if you want it. But if you got a better idea, let's go with that.
Yeah, well, strap a parachute on one shoulder because you never know when you'll need it.
And you gotta be a
cool guy. One shoulder.
And then with the other, he'll plug in his podcast equipment into this massive subwoofer.
Ooh, nice.
And go blasting across the strip. Yeah, so Brian, we are currently watching a bunch of complete idiots missing all their shots in the middle of the strip. Wow, I do not think this is going to impress Satan in the slightest. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Satan's going to be fairly disappointed in these people. They don't seem to be able to
he
land
missed.
a
He missed
single
again.
hit.
I
Oh,
won.
and look at their flaccid, flabby bodies. Just complete. I heard a rumor that they don't change their pants after they poop them.
I want to advocate guns for everyone except these guys.
Give me a charisma roll. What's your social disadvantage?
Me?
John.
No, John's.
John?
That I'm a soulless monster.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you. Because I don't think this is a people person. I'm gonna give you a roll with a disadvantage. So you roll 2 die, 1 positive, 1 negative. See if this
Okay.
affects them.
So
In the meantime, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, 1 die, 1 positive, 1 negative. My
Yeah.
charisma is 5.
Cool.
The positive. Oh, the positive is 6.
Oh no.
And the negative is 2.
So you do all this, and then you realize like it's not hooked up. The system's not working. So
It doesn't have power.
Yeah, your ego is a bit, but no one tells you. They're really awkwardly like, oh,
Sorry about
God.
that, my little
I
blinky
feel good
lust.
about that.
Come on.
Yep. That really did a number on him psychologically.
Sophie, what do you do?
I mean, they look over and she's already gone.
Oh, Sophie badassing it.
The parachute is already open. She is flying down. It's like we're playing Battlefield 5.
Oh, I want to play Battlefield 5.
2042.
Yeah.
I am shooting from the air at these fuckers in the street, and I fully assume that the boys will be following me at some point, but
Yeah.
at this point I give no fucks.
Yes, that's hero shit. Sophie, give me a roll with advantage on attacking these things from the sky. 'Cause
Cool.
they don't see you.
I am going for some. I'm using a character that your brother made as my stats.
Yeah.
And my benefit is that I'm rugged.
That's right.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Doesn't matter.
Great. I'm
It's an
going to use that
advantage.
as an advantage as well.
Yeah.
And do I have to roll a negative die?
Yeah, we'll
as
do
well?
a negative as well because there's imps in the air. Actually, let's
Okay.
do 2 negatives. Let's do 3 positive, 2 negative.
Here we go. Okay. I hit actually 3 successes.
Whoa!
And my 2 negative die are both over my dex. I have 2 4s.
Do any of them are any of them duplicates on the positive or the negative side?
The 2 negatives are duplicates of each other.
Perfect. Then
but
you're fine.
Really?
Yeah, if any positive die ever duplicate by the negative die, they cancel each other out.
No,
So if
they're
you roll
not
like
duplicated.
a 1 and a 1, unfortunately, that's a
For my
fail.
positives, I have 2 2s and a 3.
Yeah.
For my negatives, I have 2 4s.
You're
so
great.
none of the positives
So
are...
you are down there, music blaring in everywhere because it's Battlefield,
Mm-hmm.
and you are firing down at these people, and you see looking up, you see Davis Surith is like, what? And you just riddle him with bullets. And the woman who was standing next to them that replaced Aaron just as you like land in your stilettos and the parachute like falls behind you, and you are standing across from Marcus Minx and Timmy.
And then I like hit the thing and my parachute comes off and
Yeah.
I step out.
Brian, John, Rock, what have you done? What are you doing?
What have you done?
What have you done?
I think Rock will have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, let's do Rock first.
I think Rock would have been like enraptured by John, been like, oh, God Almighty, he's really taking them apart. Oh shit, Sophie's gone, and he'll have like put the thing on. My social positive, what you think in this case is a negative, is I have lots of unearned confidence. So he thinks he can full on Captain America out this window and pull real late to like go down a little bit faster
Yeah.
and like drop in and be like, hello fuckers, and start chopping people up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try.
Yeah, give me a roll.
He jumps out and like full on like is
Sure.
zooming down.
Base jumping?
Let's do it. Give
Yeah,
me
we'll pull late, land behind, and then try to flank them with you.
I love it. Give me a positive roll and 2 negatives then.
Okay. Do I get -1 negative because I got hurted?
You can use your inspiration for whatever you want. If
I
you
will
want.
use-
No, the
I'll-
hurts don't. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you lose a negative, so that's right. Only 1 positive, 1 negative.
One each. Okay.
Yeah.
Positive.
But you can also use your advantage if you want to roll another positive.
Okay, so I did get a 6 on the negative, which would be a fail, but I got a 1 on the positive, which is a success. Would it
Yeah,
be
that's the
advisable
perfect.
Oh,
so
good.
you take a little bit of damage on your wound or in your stress too. But that's okay. You just kind of nip yourself or whatever, and you land exactly how you want, natural one. So you tell us how you land.
So what he'll do is he'll pull the parachute early enough to not hurt himself too much, late enough to land. But instead of like unclipping it, he'll just machete the strings off and land on the ground and be like, "Hey, we're gonna fight you and ultimately win in the fight that we'll have with you. That's what's happening here now."
Perfect. That's great. I also wish, a part of me wished you failed because I love this idea of Sophie doing this cool thing and then you just going,
Like, bouncing across the ground.
yeah. Perfect. John, what do you do?
John is gonna save his parachute and then just take the elevator back downstairs.
Nice.
Yeah. Facing lots of important questions today about the meaning of humanity and also of work. Anyways, Here we are.
Yeah. Brian, what are you doing?
Shitty version of Ruby Rod.
Brian's gonna put on the parachute, grab the imp, and then jump out the window and deploy his chute really early and just pretend to be an imp, like hold it in front of him like a little puppet,
Nice.
and then like slowly float down. And while he does that, he's just gonna use his little super soaker full of acid piss and just like spray it down and really try and sell this.
Give me a roll. Give me a attack roll, a dexterity.
Dexterity, you got it. No.
You're still spraying piss everywhere, but it's just not getting anywhere. It just looks
Okay,
like
that's
you're peeing
fair.
yourself.
Cool. Fine.
Meanwhile,
That's
John,
fine.
you're coming down, boop, 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 and it like kind of stops on the floor, ding, and it opens up, and you
Elevator's
just see
full.
like,
Elevator's full.
the bottom half of a demon. You just kind of see it standing there, and it just like looks down. It's like,
Elevator's full, buddy. Next one. Click, 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 click.
it reaches in and tries to grab you. Give me a vitality roll, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be 1 positive and 2 negative, and if you have anything to modify it, you can. So if you have any positive feature that would help you dodging,
I
or
will
whatever.
use my surprisingly swift positive feature.
Perfect.
To add a positive there. All right. So this
2
is
positive,
my
2 negative.
This is my vitality.
Yeah.
All right. My vitality is 2. My rolls are 1 and 5 on the positive,
That's a success.
5 and 6 on the negative.
Perfect. So you do take wounds, but you succeed. So you dodge out of the way, but because you took 2 hits, you are going to take 2 little stresses. But it kind of like grabs at you. It like bends the metal of the elevator, and you dodge out of the way, and it like tries to grab you again, and it bends the metal of the elevator, and then the doors shut. And as they shut, you hear the elevator just like kind of like, and tick, 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 and it goes barreling down with a snap towards the floor. It's just like,
I'm the manager for Grunk.
and like it opens up, you get flown from it, you're fine because you're a hero, and you're kind of like lying on the floor of the lobby in blood for a second. Sophie, you and Rock are standing on either side of Merc Dingus, whatever his fucking name was, and they are standing at you, him and Timmy, and you're both looking at each other, and there's kind of a showdown. It's like a and like a human head tumbles by in the wind.
I don't know why you think that you would be able to get this position above Rock or myself, but you are sorely mistaken.
Is that so? And he spins around and he takes a swipe at you, Rock. He punches you right in the face. Give me a vitality roll.
Bastard. That's a 2, which will pass.
Oh, damn. Yeah, he hits you and you don't even really move. And he looks at you. What do you do, Rock?
Rock will. This is the Dingus, Marcus Dingus person, is it?
This is Marcus Minx. He's a kind
Minx,
of a big...
yeah.
He's not Timmy. Timmy's your size, but this
So
guy's kind of like...
Yes, he'll be like, "Nice try, Minx, out of my way," and he'll just not violently push him, just like push him to the side and be like, "Timmy, you know how this goes down, bro?" And he'll rip his shirt off and be like, "Pose off, bitch!"
And Timmy
And
does
we'll
the
start,
same.
like,
And you see on his chest, he's got a big, like he's got all these tattoos, like a skull and like a big pair of like scissors, and he steps forward. You take a hit of him first?
Pair of scissors?
Oh no, I flex my muscles at him.
He
I'm
flexes
trying to,
back.
Like, oh, I am? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna fucking hit him. Oh, look at those biceps. Can't even see him for the tattoos. And then we'll hit him in the face.
Hit him in the face. Give me a roll, a dexterity roll with all your advantages and 1 negative.
Okay, so two positive, one negative.
2 positive, 1 negative.
Cool. 2 posies, fuck, 1 fail, 1 pass, a 6 and a 1. Negative is a natural 1, so a pass.
But did you roll 1 on your positive?
It cancels it out.
It cancels it out.
Full
So you
failure.
don't take any wounds, but you do not succeed. You swipe, and he steps back, and he uppercuts you. Give me a vitality roll.
Oh my goodness.
Give me a vitality roll.
Pass.
With a negative.
Okay. And a 1, so 3 and a 1, so nothing cancels out, and a pass on both.
Okay, so he still wounds you because
Yeah.
it didn't cancel itself out, but you do pass. He hits you as you fall back a little bit. You take a little bit of a wound, and he steps up and he says, "Scissors beats rock."
Ooh. If I can retaliate, I just full on stab him in the stomach with my machete.
Do it right now. You don't have to roll for it. You just slice his stomach open, and his guts slowly start pouring out, and they start falling onto you, and he stumbles and falls over dead.
Rock sheds a single tear, tries to you're right to me. Scissors beats rock. Not this time, baby. And he's sad because he knows he was the weaker. He's like, I'm just gonna fucking pretend I won, baby. Okay.
That's called character growth. I love that. Sophie, you are standing face to face with Marcus Minx as Brian sort of floats down out of Marcus's sight over to the side with a piss soaker. You hear John behind you sort of scream in agony. You don't know what's going on in the flamingo.
It'll be fine. Sophie went to school on the streets of New York City, and she knows more than anyone how to hail a goddamn taxi. She has a skill where all she has to do is hold up her hand, and the nearest available cab will come to her with all haste.
Yeah.
And she sees a free taxi down the street. And she calculates that this taxi, if it comes to her quickly enough, might just take out her opponent for her. And so she gestures, "Taxi!"
Marcus turns around slowly, like, what? The taxi revs on its engine. It powers towards him. And as he turns around, he's like, "No!" And his legs just get swept out from under him. He goes a 360 in the air, and he falls down on his head, crushing himself. His brain just goes splort around the ground, and that's where he dies. John, you are standing on the floor of the flamingo, getting up after rubble.
Yeah, well, John has just had a heart attack, but he sits
Minor.
and
Cardiac event.
kind of looks around. He's in the empty now lobby of the Tropicana by himself.
Oh, that's
They had mentioned that there were weapons stashed here and there around the plaza. John is going to look for something back here.
yeah, you find it. What do you find?
Yeah. I think he looks around for a couple moments, and then there above the bar is a massive taxidermied swordfish, accompanied by a pair of twin crossed harpoon guns.
Correct.
That's
and I
sick.
think
That's
he
badass.
he reaches out to those, and then the camera cuts to someone else.
Perfect. Sophie, Brian, and Rock, the three of you are standing in the street for a second, and there's an eerie silence all around you. And then that sinking feeling of realization. You might be the last 3 alive.
Well, boys,
It's come to this, has it? Remember what John said? One of us could hire the rest of us?
but we're not.
Brian's
gonna
gonna
have the
sit
job.
down, just on the ground.
Okay.
Rock is fully unnerved by that. What's going on here? What are you doing, Brian? Brian!
I've lived a very comfortable and self-entitled life. I've never had to work a day in my life. This is the hardest I've ever worked. And,
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I'm out. The demon guy said last man standing, so I'm not standing anymore. I'm just gonna sit here and, if you guys can resolve this, I'd love to not work for either one of you, but still get paid. Because that's what I am good at, and I understand that about myself now.
Sophie walks around you, Brian, her stilettos clicking on the pavement, and she's tracing the Uzi across your shoulders, and then she looks up to Rock and she says, I think Brian's right. I mean, he's an idiot, but the demon said last man standing, and let's be real here. A woman has no place in corporate hell. She sits down beside Brian as well.
Rock will be like,
Brian
And
pulls
she's
out
just-
a joint and lights it up and hands it
She
to
starts
Sophie.
filing her nails. She looks at the joint. No.
upon seeing this, Rock will be like, it's absolutely beautiful. And he'll just like wiping away the Vicks vapor up he put under his nose earlier.
Yeah.
And the smell of the scene will finally hit his nostrils, and my physical negative is the smell of blood makes me vomit. He gets sick right on the spot, and he's like, sorry about that. Yeah, fully agree. And we'll just go and sit down beside the tree and be like, so, anybody reading a good books lately?
And as the three of you sit in the town square, John appears walking from down the street.
Yeah, John sort of like the camera pans and as the three are like sitting there, John is standing in a power pose in the middle of the street behind them. And he says, really testing the definitions here, are we?
I don't know. We thought, devils are tricky with wording. It's contractually,
Their whole
it's
thing
not
is
clear.
like wording and contracts, right? I mean, this
Absolutely.
seems to fit the bill, but I
We're
mean, the
sitting
dome's
down.
still there, right? Is the big
Snables!
spirally- Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We've got our last man standing.
Yeah, and Sneebles appears out of nowhere. Foomp. And he sort of looks around at everybody and he says, oh, interesting. Outsmarting Satan. That's a smart move. And he turns around and starts walking away and he says, just kill each other. And he disappears again.
That's not in the fine print, Snables. And I should know better than anyone.
He
'Cause
pops
I'm the
back up
manager.
and turns towards you and he says, fair enough. John's head explodes. And the three of you sitting there are just showered in skull and blood and bone and fragment.
Yeah.
I want to say, as sort of the final like, as that happens, social media, he was live streaming, and, like, the chat goes wild.
Yeah, they love it.
John just died.
Gets so many emotes.
The new podcast name is John Just Died. But secondly, that, sort of in, like, slow motion, as his limp hands let go, he drops 2 loaded harpoon guns.
Yes.
They take a comical bouncing round across the hood of the taxi, across the glass. Where do they land, Harlan?
On Sneebly, obviously. Just thunk, thunk, just like severing his neck and his head.
Beautiful.
And it just kind of like, it waits a second and his head just kind of like sloths off again and falls to the side.
Yep.
Sophie, Brian, Rock, you're sitting on the ground in the bloody Las Vegas Strip.
I think when John's head explodes and gets all over Rock, some of it gets in his mouth. And so what Rock does by instinct is to like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna kill this monster who killed my friend. Jumps up, vomits so much that he runs, slips on his own vomit, and cracks his head off some sort of pillar and is just dead.
Dies instantly. I love that. That's perfect. Sophie and Brian, the two of you are sitting there. You just watched Rock stand up, vomit on himself, and die. And the two of you are left on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah. Sophie puts the loaded Uzi down on the ground in between the two of them and she says, shall we spin for it?
Did you miss my entire speech earlier, Sophie? I don't want to work anymore. And Brian will pick up the Uzi and unload it into his gut.
Whoa! Whoa! It's too many bullets.
Brian falls over dead. Sophie, the sky
What a waste
above
of
you
resources.
clears. The blood stops. The imps disappear. All the bodies remain. And a figure walks from down the street. It's smiling wildly, clapping slowly. It looks at you.
She stands up and smooths her skirt.
Well, congratulations are in order. Sophie Sandwich, I had hoped you'd make it till the end.
I always knew I would.
I did too. My loving daughter. You played them very clever.
Well,
I appreciated how much you tried to make them work against each other. You followed the rules to a T, that you couldn't take the other three out. I appreciate that. All right, the crown is yours.
thank you, Daddy.
And with that, Satan lifts the crown off his head, puts it onto his daughter's forehead, and all of you reunite once again in hell. The end.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Ah, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary friends, that was Last Manager Standing, a end-of-the-world game. If you like that system, which is a very loose interpretation of it, you can check it out. End of the World, it's pretty much everywhere. We play it a lot here. I think
the better.
Fantasy Flight Games is where it is. Great job, everyone. That was a lot of fun. You all did really good. Whoop-de-whoop.
Fun game.
Great job. Sorry I blew up your head, John. It just felt like the right
It
thing to
was
do.
gonna happen.
Got
That was
to.
good. That was good.
Not for the first time on the Invictus stream.
Have I blown up your head before?
Oh yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, in January.
The backwards gun.
That's right.
Oh, that was
Wow.
that was not me. That one was
Sure.
was a mechanic. I showed
That was
afterwards.
good.
I was like, look, it says. Right, fire that gun. This one was me.
This was a blast.
Yeah. No, this is
Great
a lot of
job,
fun.
everyone.
Yeah, for all those watching, please make sure to like the video, watch us. We're going to be back many, many times with my great friends here because this is always such a fun time. Make sure you check out hellofromthehallowoods.com. It's com.ca, right? Yeah, .com. Again, live show coming up, which is really exciting. Lots and lots of content.
InvictusCon.
Yeah, InvictusCon is coming up March 24th, 25th, 26th. Lots of RPGs. If you want to play games like these, you can sign up for them right now. Sign-ups are open. Get in on a game. Is anybody here running a game?
You and me.
You and me only?
I'm running Everyone is Seagulls.
And I think I'm running Call of Cthulhu. I haven't put much thought into it yet, but it'll be great. And yeah, InvictusCon, lots of cool panels, lots of cool people. So make sure you stop by and check it out. It's all on the Discord. It's all online. Beyond that, I think that is it for us. Hope you have an amazing week, an amazing rest of your night. And as my good friend Rock Dangerstone always likes to say,
Don't eat eggs. They're not good for you. An all-egg diet is simply, it's stupid. It's ludicrous. Don't do it.
don't do it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.